This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, September the 16th, is a former baseball player who played 18 years from 1983 to 2000, becoming a pitching coach and a color analyst for the Dodgers. He is an icon with the Dodgers, although he didn't always play with the Dodgers. He had one of the best seasons ever in 1988 by a pitcher. But anyway, he's 65 years old today. His name, Earl Hershiser, the Bulldog. Hershiser was born in Buffalo, but they actually moved to Toronto when he was 12. So he actually played hockey with the Don Mills Flyers. But a few years later, his family would move again, and he went to high school in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So, anyway, he was good in high school and then got a partial scholarship to Bowling Green University for baseball. He actually hitchhiked home, but his parents told him to stick with baseball and stick with school. So he did. He enrolled in summer school to bring his grades up and worked at his father's paper company, and it helped him out for Bowling Green. But the Dodgers took notice and took him in the 17th round of the 1979 MLB draft. And people said he had poor control, he had a weak fastball, but threw the curveball incorrectly. So the Dodgers got him into the minors. And by 1982, he was in AAA. There were rumors that the Dodgers were going to trade him to Texas for Jim Sundberg. But Jim Sundberg didn't like how things were with the Dodgers and wanted his contract rewritten, but the Dodgers backed out. Well, anyway, Hershiser did almost get to the opening day roster for the Dodgers in 1983, but he won 10 games for the Dodgers farm club as a starter. And when the Dodgers got the call-ups September 1st, 1983, he was called up and made his debut against the Expos. So he came in the game in the 7th inning and retired all 3 batters. By his 2nd inning of work, he allowed a double and a single and was taken out of the game. Anyway, Hershiser did make the opening day roster. It was a long reliever. However, he was getting pounded on the mound a lot. Lasorda berated Hershiser on the mound one day, saying that he was too timid. He can't respect the hitters too much. And he should be a bulldog. So Hershiser came up, and actually by July, he threw 4 complete game shutouts that month. He would finish 11-8 with a 2.66 ERA. Hershiser did good in 84. And then in 85, he led the NL winning percentage, getting 19 wins against 3 losses with a 2.03 ERA. The Dodgers won the NL West, went to the NLCS against the Cardinals, but questionable pitching in games 5 and 6 led the Cardinals to winning that series. Hershiser would go 14-14 and 16-16 in the next 2 seasons. However, 1988 things were changing. Hershiser needed an emergency appendectomy the week before reporting spring training. But he was fine through workouts. In 1988, he had a magical season. He had 23 wins, 8 shutouts, and 15 complete games. Pretty good. His ERA was third at 2.26. But the one thing that set him apart from everyone else was his 59 consecutive scoreless innings pitch streak. Which, well, the record was Don Drysdale's with 58 2/3. But anyway, Hershiser, the streak began August 30th and went all the way till the final game of the season, where he went 10 shutout innings on 116 pitches. Ironically, Drysdale was in the booth for the Dodgers radio broadcast when Hershiser broke that mark. Hershiser would start games 1 and 3 of the NLCS, which was weird. It's like, how would you start games 1 and 3? But regardless, there were some pitching problems. However, in Game 4, he had to come in relief. Because prior to Game 4, well, Game 3, Jay Howell was suspended for an illegal glove and was out of the playoffs. So Hershiser said he would come in for the save, and Game 4 went to extra innings. And then in Game 7, he threw a complete game shutout to help the Dodgers shock the Mets and go to the World Series, even though the Dodgers were not really picked to do well. In Game 2, he pitched a shutout. And in Game 5, he allowed 2 runs and struck out the last batter, winning the Dodgers the 1988 World Series and winning himself World Series MVP. Hershiser became the only player to get the Cy Young, the LCS MVP, and the World Series MVP in the same season. Still to this day. He was named Sportsman of the Year by Sports Illustrated in 1988. So Hershiser was given a 3-year, $7.9 million contract for his efforts, and had a very good year with his ERA 2.31. One problem though, he was 15-15 because the Dodgers gave Hershiser a lack of offensive support. Hershiser once had a 7-game losing streak in which the Dodgers only scored 9 total runs when he started. Hershiser had a torn labrum in the shoulder and needed the Tommy John surgery. Well, he thought he needed Tommy John, but no, it was shoulder reconstruction surgery. It was the first time a Major League ball player got that specific reconstruction surgery. Hershiser would come back May 91 and was named the UPI Comeback Player of the Year. In 21 starts, he was 7-2. There were questions about his recovery, and he pitched below 500 the next 2 years. In 94, he tried, but he became a free agent, and Cleveland signed him to a 3-year deal. The team needed a veteran to do pitching, and he did. He got 16 wins for the 95 Tribe that took 100 games in the season and got them to the first postseason appearance since the 1954 World Series. Hershiser won both games in the ALCS. He pitched against the Mariners and was the MVP, becoming the first player to win the AL and NLCS MVP. He would do okay in the World Series, but Atlanta had the World Series in 6. But a 14-6 World Series appearance in 97 was good. So in Game 3 of the 97 ALCS against Baltimore, he threw 7 shutout innings. And unfortunately, Hershiser gave up 13 runs in 2 starts against the Marlins in the postseason, in the World Series. And that cost the Tribe the World Series. He was a free agent, and San Fran signed him to a 1-year, $3 million contract. However, age would catch up with him. All that. After 1 season with San Fran, he ended up being with Cleveland on a minor league contract. And they released him during spring training, and the Mets signed him, and then he went 13-12 for the 99 Mets that were close to getting to the World Series, but missed out in the LCS to the Braves. He would pitch out of the bullpen, primarily. And then he signed another 1-year deal with the Dodgers to come back and finish it off. Unfortunately, though, despite having a good home opener, he struggled. And he put a 13.14 ERA in 2000. So he was released on June 26th and retired. So anyway, Hershiser would become the Rangers pitching coach in 2002. By 2005, he almost got to be Dodgers manager, but it didn't go to him. He was passed over for the Oakland job. And then, he left the pitching coach job after 2005. And then by 2006, he became an analyst for ESPN. By 2014, he rejoined the Dodgers as a TV analyst for Sportsnet LA. He would team up with Charlie Steiner and Nomar Garcia-Parra to call Dodger road games that were not played in California when Vin Scully had reduced his travel. Since 2017, it's been Hershiser, the color commentator, to Joe Davis being the main play-by-play guy for the Dodgers after Vin Scully retired. So anyway, he's a poker player as well. So anyway, did all that. Hershiser and his first wife Jamie divorced in 2005, having 2 sons, Quentin and Jordan. His second wife was Dana Deaver in 2010. Jordan Hershiser was actually drafted in the 34th round in the 2012 MLB draft, but didn't make it far. Hershiser was an active Christian and would actually sang hymns for the audience of the Tonight Show after the '88 World Series. So yeah, so the Bulldog did quite well, and that Dodgers season of '88 is something to be behold. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.